So when last we left off, the Fellowship of the Chile Sad was investigating an Uttolot conspiracy that had that they believed involved the framing of the glass blade Milateno for the murder of Hilolutan. This investigation led you to Uthodurn, and from Uthodurn through the affluent and well-connected Tumblekar family, it led you to a secret meeting, a conclave of sorts, in the abandoned city of Earlus. When you arrived in Earlus, you were expecting, just a normal sort of dealing, but instead you found a conclave of four different factions. The Jezzeraz orcs, led by Urag, the Cult of the Caustic Heart, led by a red dragonborn, Wuxia, the Tumblecarves, led by the patriarch Tombard Tumblecarve, and the Uttolots, led by Jagoda Uttolot. You listened in through Major Chad into their plans, into their uh, in their plans for to take over the city of Uthodurn to replace the Temple of Sarenrae, where Will trained, with a temple to Tiamat, and to eradicate the Baraftra orcs. And through all this, you learned about through this you learned that indeed that the Dragonborn were the actual murderers of Halilutan, and that the and that
Sorry.
and that Mila had indeed been framed. Armed with this knowledge, you made your way back and encountered Aurelius' family and the most brutal version of Family Feud that's ever been. And you returned to Uthodurn. There, you spoke to Elith, to Magnus, and to others, trying to convince people of your tale, trying to figure out how to prove that the Tumble Cards were involved in sort of sedition and conspiracy. You were talking with Wilfred's childhood friend Morgana about the threat that was posed to the Sanctum of Sarenrae, as well as the status of Golgathir, which you had left in the middle of a revolution. And you guys were sort of making your way out of that tavern when you guys were approached by a sort of a phalanx of individual soldiers guards clad in sort of this bright gleaming white armor, and they approached your companion Yaris, and they said that he was basically a defector, a deserter of the Pallid Guard, and that they had come to bring him back for a court martial in the Pallid Grove. That is where we'll begin tonight's session.
Bye, Felicia. I'm gonna go fight again. You can have him this time.
Yeah, long one. Yeah. Sorry, the last time we fought for somebody at our party, almost everyone died.
So are they a surrounding? I mean, did they?
Is it like a big plank, or is it like a?
It's not super big. It's only about maybe like 8 or 9 of them. But they're armed with these carved sort of dangerous looking weapons. They have these sort of like think like samurai weapons. So they carry these long swords and stuff like that.
They're in the perfect area for a fireball right now.
Or I'm gonna point to Aris and message him silently so that
Okay.
They can't. What's going on, Aris?
I'm actually not entirely sure. I was on a mission with my 2 companions, Thurinil and Farathir, and I guess I still should be. He steps forward and he says, "Loyal members of the Pallid Guard, I have been on a mission to track down the Wormkin, and it has been a harrowing and sort of dangerous adventure in which, unfortunately, my companion Farathir was killed, and my companion Thurinil was captured. I have been investigating the Wormkin ever since, looking for sort of a way to track them down and to potentially save Thurinil if there is still a way to save Thurinil. And this is how I found these companions here. They are helping me on that mission. Sort of the main guard sort of steps forward, and they have these sort of like they have these visors that go down, sort of like go down like kind of like RoboCop, and so they've got them like sort of down over their face. You can sort of see their chins are obviously Paladels, but the one sort of takes off his helmet and he sort of like he's got these sort of like this pale skin, these black eyes. He sort of looks at Aris and he says, Aris, brother, how am I supposed to believe you that you are tracking down the Wormkin when you are nowhere near where the Wormkin are? Aris looks back and says, Marius, we were attempting to track down the Wormkin, but we didn't have any good leads on where they were located. We were just out searching the different places. When we were sent out, the three of us, we were investigating different places until we came to a place where they knew of the Wormkin. I believe they're up here in the Graying Wildlands. It's just a little hard to locate them. And sort of puts his helmet to his hip. And so the best way to locate the Wormkin was to run around with this band of vagabonds. It was all I had after my mission. After Thurinil was captured and Farthir was killed.
I mean, if you've got other responsibilities, don't feel obliged to us.
He sort of stands there looking pensively back and forth.
We've certainly appreciated your companionship, and you've been quite a help in our journeys. But this was always kind of never really much of a formal group to begin with. We've all got our own goals.
He sort of nods to you guys and he says, when this looks back to his brother, or it looks back to the Pallid Guard, he says, let me finish this sort of investigation, and then I'll come back to the Pallid Grove. But I need to finish this. I sort of look at him. All right. So puts back on his helmet. They turn around and begin to walk away.
That was easy, right?
And it came out of nowhere.
That was
Yeah.
unexpected there, Aris.
Yeah, I've neglected my my mission for too long.
We've always been on the lookout for any clues or anything for the Wormkin. I know that that's been a mission of yours. You've informed us of that, to find your lost partner. But you're right, we haven't really found any clues at the moment. So I don't know what he expected of you. I mean, I understand you haven't pursued that mission diligently itself. I see.
Yeah, I think the expectations for the Pallid Guard are very, very high.
Yeah.
Well, very thankful to have you. As long as we do.
Thankful to be here.
And a lot of work for us.
Well,
Anyway.
what's our next step?
We're on our way to
We're on our way to that one place.
Uthodurn to develop people.
That's what it's called.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
With the fancy.
It was right on the tip of my tongue.
Not really fancy pants, but more
All right.
posh.
I know,
Christine.
Morgana mentioned I might be able to sell my axe there. Did someone else have business there too? Or was it just me?
I think AR speaks up at this point. I think we were looking potentially this brother of
Uthodurn.
no yeah, the brother of some of it, the
Brother of Jorah.
yeah, he
Darius is.
could have been like a help maybe to sort of give our you know, with the king.
Yeah.
I hope he has some sort of a foothold. I don't know. He is a member of the Cobalt Soul. Yep, Cobalt Soul. I figured you would have at least some sort of well, I kind of know his sister.
Well,
He would be able to help.
let's go. Let's go.
That's where we're
Else
heading.
to do here. I don't know how to get there.
Yeah,
Up, down.
make an investigation check for me.
Me?
Who's leading the way down to the Vellum steeple.
I mean, I probably would.
23.
But I wouldn't realize that I didn't know how to get there until I got there and realized, oh, right, I've never been here before.
I would attempt, but I've never been here before either.
23. I asked the
23?
bard.
Okay, yeah. So you guys, you sort of start asking people once you get down towards the grand disc. People who look studious and they might be interested in research, and over time you do. You know, somebody says, "Oh well, oh yeah, Vellum steeple, you can't miss it. It's down there in the grand disc. It's sort of, you know, it's sort of near the sort of the near the palace, but it's a little bit away as well. You know, they sort of give you directions. You guys make your way down to the grand disc. And you reach sort of the gates there where the glass blades stand.
We got this ring.
Yeah, so you sort of show it to them. You know, they open the door, let you in. You guys make your way down into the grand disc where you're surrounded by these, you know, these different individuals bearing the banners of their houses and being carried on pallets, you know, by servants, and make your way through sort of the affluent streets with these beautiful walled houses. You see the Grand Rest, the Citadel again, the Grand Cast Citadel again, and you sort of like make your way down, and then you see this large sort of library sort of illuminated with these ornate lanterns and street lamps out front. You see it's sort of got like a Gothic cathedral sort of nature to it, and it is, you know, it is, you know, very, very large, and it sort of, you know, towers over.
This looks like it.
I will look around for if I probably won't recognize him, but if I see anyone that would match who I would imagine would be him.
Who are you looking for? Uthodurn?
Just looking to see if I can spot him.
Okay. So you guys enter in. There's sort of like a large sort of desk there, in front of your To make a perception check, Wolf.
Ooh, 23.
23. All right, so you're looking around, and all of a sudden you see this sort of this jet black tabaxi come down the stairs, and you see sort of carrying a bundle of books, in his hands. He sort of looks over it, looks around, sort of like he begins to move. He basically could be coming down the stairwell from one side. He begins to move around in front of the desk to the other side, basically, if that makes sense.
Excuse me. Are you
Yes, yes,
are you Uthodurn?
I am. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking to?
Wilfred Short. You can call me Wolf for short.
Well,
I think I happen to know your sister,
which
Jorah.
sister, Jorah? Oh,
Jorah.
he sort of looks over you. You're a priest of Sarenrae.
That I am. Or,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
That's wonderful. It's always great to meet a disciple of my sister.
Yeah. It's good to meet you. I was hoping I could. I heard that. I was hoping I could. I heard that you were in town. I was hoping I could potentially ask for some help.
What kind of help are you looking for? Some research you need help with, or have any topics you're interested in particularly?
Well, I was hoping you had some connection to who is the king? Ever getting a connection to the king?
I
Could,
don't know the king personally, but
I just heard that you were in just was hoping.
no, I do not. But if you want if you'd like to listen on my research into the origins, the different the origins of Uthodurn and Golgathir, and the sort of the different sort of geopolitical situations between them, I hear there's been sort of some turmoil, and it's required my attention.
Well, that's kind of what we're in the midst of, is some political turmoil ourselves.
Well, I would love to hear what you have to say. uh, let's grab a table over here, and he sort of like travels over with this big like pile of books. He plops them down on a table and sits down. Well, so and you sort of like begins pulling out a journal and sort of like pulls out a pen and begins to write. So what sort of political?
Well, kind of here in the city of Uthodurn, I'm sure you're aware that there are multiple factions within the city. Yet the Talviels are prominent at the moment.
Of course, I mean, there's of course the diarchy with Imathon Talviel as the former king of Malaesmere, has wields much power.
There
are some factions in the Uttolots, and I'm sure you've heard of them as well.
Vaguely, yes. They are not really associated with Uthodurn. It's more so a Shady Creek Run sort of thing, but I've heard of them, yeah.
It seems they've been looking to extend their influence here to Uthodurn. And they've been working with, I guess, we have a suspicion that there's at least one noble family that's working with them, attempting to throw off the balance of power and gain some more control over not just Uthodurn, but
The whole place weird.
yeah.
All of WoW now.
Mhm. Well, this is most
And we just-
concerning. What royal family is this?
The tumble carves.
So let's. Must be a more minor family. I'm not familiar with that
Yeah,
particular.
they're remember they're not in the Grand Disc. They're right near it, and who knows? Maybe they're bitter about that, and maybe that's why he's more wanting to get some influence. But he definitely seems to have some sway.
Hmm.
And,
Well,
sounds like
It sounds like Jorah had informed Wilfred. I mean, you are connected to the Cobalt Soul, and that has some sway within the diarchy and carries weight. And so we did not know if your word could carry influence, because we do not have much physical evidence of any of this. We were there, and we overheard a plot to overthrow.
a plot to overthrow. What did you overhear?
That these families, the Uttolots, the Tumblekars, and a clan of Dragonborn, and some orcs, the Jethera orcs, are all trying to work together to overthrow or subvert the influence within Uthodurn. I think to start taking control, I guess.
Okay.
Change the lay of the land.
I'm gonna upset the
So,
current.
yeah, this seems most concerning and most what sort of how may it be of assistance in preventing this?
I think what we need most is an audience with the king.
Um, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I cannot help you with that. That's not my. I don't have those connections. My apologies.
You don't know anyone that might be able to get us?
Well, I mean, I am friends with Golrum Shalebrow, and he does have some, pull. I don't know. I mean, it's worth. I don't know if that would work or not. It seems a little bit like a dead end to me, but
You've got all these books here. I guess they don't say anything. What you give
you're
us?
welcome to take a look. Sort of plops one down.
Kind of hoping this would help give us a little bit of a foothold for stepping stone.
Well, you seem very knowledgeable yourself, obviously, in here in this library, and with the goings on of geopolitical influences and stuff. What would you do with information such as this in a situation like this, where right now it seems that this is the first time I've been to Uthodurn myself with this band of brothers I've made along the way. We've been adventuring and trekking through the wilderness for a while here together, just picking up tasks here and there. But this is the first time I've been to Uthodurn myself. What would you do? It seems like this has been a peaceful city for a while, and the Tolviels are gracious and peaceful to their citizens. What would you do if somebody was trying to overthrow? What steps would you take to?
Well, I would probably look for physical evidence. Try and investigate the tumble cars. Maybe is there a way you could scry on them or anything such as that?
I mean,
A scry, like you cast a spell and you can see what they're doing.
oh, no.
I have no
Not
such,
yet.
no
I
such
haven't,
talents.
Of my knowledge. Currently.
The one thing that we did pick up was that they're running this operation for the Sioux trade, I think. And I don't know how much you know about that in the city. Do you know anybody in particular that is
I'm an
major?
academic. That's not really my
Yeah,
area of expertise. I do know that the trade of illicit suit has been a sore point between Golgathir and Uthodurn for a while now. I believe it is made down somewhere down there in the Underdark and sold up here, and it's um, a very
yes. We did hear that they were importing suit through Golgathir into Uthodurn. So maybe that is a place that we should look. I mean, we came through Golgathir to get here. We could potentially go back and try to find a sued dealer or maker.
What
yeah. What can you tell me about these? So you said there were 4 factions. You said the Tumblecars. You said the Uttolots. You said
Yes.
some
Oh, the
Dragonborn.
caustic card,
Yeah,
not just Dragonborn.
the Dragonborn from the cult of the Kostakar.
And the
Jezzerat
Jezzerat the Jezzerat orcs.
Well, that
Forgot.
name, the Cult of the Caustic Heart, that name rings a bell. That's a a very old and devious cult faction that wishes to bring back Tiamat. It's known for its subtle political machinations and sort of seducing individuals based on the promise of money or power.
It seemed like those were the guys kind of running the show, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they seem very much, them and the Tumblecars seem the 2 biggest players, I think, in
And
this.
especially considering those Dragonborn just came with 4 of them, and everyone else came with a dozen or a whole bunch. Seemed pretty confident in themselves. Well, I guess that tracks if they're known for trying to do this kind of underhanded politics.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and they're known for their binding contracts as well, if that's of any use to you.
Hmm.
So
Binding, how do you
you
mean?
stick your nose,
I like it's sort of they're able to make you a deal, make you an offer you can't refuse them. make you a deal that is sort of uh, it seems good at the beginning, but it turns out to have a hidden price. They don't seem as much to like to get their hands dirty, although they will, but they prefer to use more subtle means.
If we could find anything concrete that links the tumble cars to this cult, or even just to prove that they met with any of these other factions, maybe that'll get us somewhere. But how will we get that?
Sure. I mean, do you have a witness, an itinerary, anything to?
We are the witnesses.
You
Well, have one thing.
We have a witness who is
Not escape.
deceased, to say the least.
Oh, that might do.
And we have the ability, that's what I thought, that's why
Yeah,
we
might be
kept
able to-
this. This witness was there, and on our way out from this meeting, we decided to keep the body. Because we have this
I can
Wilford here could
be able to
let
ask
this,
some questions.
let this body speak. As you well know, I'm sure that is a possibility.
Yeah.
And so we were figuring if we could have an audience with the king, at least this would be,
Not going empty handed.
yeah, we have some proof here that this meeting took place, that there were people and who was there.
Assuming he talks.
Yeah. That's an option. I mean, so so you need an audience with the king. So you need someone who has connections with the king in order to get you an audience.
We could contact his daughter. We've
We've
talked
been
to
in
her
contact with her
before.
before, yeah.
Okay.
But yes,
That seems.
getting
Possibility
communication with him would be of great importance since he is ultimately the one we would need to prove all this to.
Yeah. So yeah, if you can just contact his daughter, that probably will be enough, right?
Hmm.
I don't understand what
And I had a question. The cult of the Costa Karrik,
Mhm.
have they been successful before?
In what? In freeing team up from Avernus?
In
Do you
then-
see Tiamat?
have they been successful in bringing back raising a temple, one that was destroyed before?
It's been a while, but I believe yes. And a distant land. I think it's Taldore.
Hmm. All right.
They didn't want anything with Golgus here, did they? Other than Sue. You know a lot about Golgus here. Do you know anything about the new tower?
Yeah, that's actually why I came to to Uthodurn. I was investigating. There's been a coup in Golgotha. Yeah, so we believe it is a band of 7 mind flayers, led by their leader is an albino mind flayer named Atar.
Yes.
And he has a brother Asgath. And there's another one, Nurgle. Bemut, Bemut, Asistopheles.
What was that, magical Mr. Mistopheles?
Wait, I say Asistopheles.
Yeah.
How many is that? How many is that?
That is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Okay, all right. What was the one?
Joe and Trey.
No, Nexon.
Jackson line.
um, and a baron.
Yes, we are well aware of Atar.
Mm.
We met him through when we were wandering through Golgathir.
Wow, you are fortunate to be alive.
We actually saved his life.
He's
Oh.
lucky to be alive. We didn't know who he was.
Why? I mean, that's
He had no idea what
He's,
he was
About at the time.
We were on the run from
It's a long story.
It's complicated.
What do you
Other
know
than,
about what do you know about the mind flayers?
other than power, do you know what else brings them?
they love to enslave intelligent races. That is sort of their modus operandi. They are devious, controlling, and manipulative.
Well, see, it's not our fault then.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too different than the Duragar themselves.
I played it up.
Yes, for centuries the Durgar have been slaves to the mind flayers. It's very common.
What are your opinion of the Duragar?
Uncivilized, but not wholly abominable.
Well,
Huge connection between Golgathir and Uthodurn. And there's a new power that just joined or just took over Golgathir. Either they're aligned with this conspiracy, which seems likely, or they're just took advantage of a void before this conspiracy could.
We're not sure what the mind flavor's end goal is, other than it sounds like
in the way you describe the mind flayers, it seems unlikely they'd be aligning themselves with another faction. It seems like they kind of want to be the top dog.
In Golgathir, of course. If this conspiracy is as large as you say it is,
Who knows?
who knows? It may be if they're divvying up the world. The Uttolots may get Shady Creek Run. The orcs may get that area. The tumble cars may get Uthodurn, and the mind flayers might get Golgathir.
Or the mind players are pulling the strings of it all.
It's
Yeah,
possible.
that's possible.
That's what it is. Because I don't think
You
they've
know, since you met Atar, you could probably, I guess you could send him a message if you wanted to, and just kind of, I don't know, just let him know that we. It's probably a terrible idea, but maybe you could gauge kind of his opinion of us. I don't know.
you could ask him if you'd be welcome there. Talk.
Sorry?
Yeah. Just tell him we might be coming back to the public here and see if you'd be available to chat. Press you at the same time.
Maybe a reset or accepted the idea.
You never know.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Doris. We certainly appreciate your time.
Oh well, it was a wonderful meeting. A disciple of my sister.
Yeah, you're not as eccentric as her.
Yes, she's a little more screwy.
Well, how much do we we know, or how much would your thing know about mind flayers?
Make a history check.
Much history?
Mhm.
As far as like what?
Probably more than Karrik.
I know nothing. It's a 4.
A 4. So you know that
My name's a pair.
yeah, so you know that they're the things that you guys saw in Golgothir. You know what they look like. You kind of know that they're aberrations.
Sweet.
I don't think I would know anything about it either.
Actually,
Yeah. Yes.
do you know where I might find the scribe warden?
I believe Uvesa is around here somewhere. He sort of points over to this sort of this blonde sort of elvish woman. She's sort of got like a pompadour. She's got like sort of a pompadour haircut, and she sort of looks over at him. Says, that's the scribe warden right there.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're all finished here.
All right.
I'll talk to her, but if we've still got some other things to discuss, that's fine. Guys,
You need?
anything else we need to talk to this gentleman about?
Can't think of anything.
All right, well, I'm gonna go see if I can get rid of this axe.
Oh yeah.
I'll walk over to
All right.
Good afternoon.
Yes. May I help you?
I'm not sure. Hello. Yes. I was told that you would be the person to talk to. I have a magical artifact that I'm trying to sell, but it's something that could potentially be dangerous, and I just don't want it falling into the wrong hands. But I was told you might be interested in it for the sake of the artifact itself.
What sort of artifact is this?
It's going to be frank here. It is a weapon. It's a very large, very well made axe. It's like it may have been built by, or forged by giants at some points. Massive. And it has what seems to be a curse on it. Nothing that would directly harm the user, but I'm the kind of weapon that I might normally use, but just holding it, I feel it almost reaching into my mind, and I don't like it.
Well, that is not my my area of expertise. But if you wish to talk to our artifact, sort of, if you wish to talk to the curator of the artifacts, I'm sure he would be most interested in this artifact.
over
This
at
axe.
Warehouse 13.
What?
Is it over in Warehouse 13?
Yeah.
Hard ass.
Micah Baring here. Go to Cheyenne Mountain, talk to Richard Dean Anderson, and so his thing.
Where could I find them?
They would be up on the third floor. They have near the teleportation circle. There's an office back there with where the antiquities curator is.
And her name?
Her name is Arvin Harlow.
All right.
Harlow.
All right. Well, thank you.
No problem.
I'll at least attempt to make my way up there. I don't know how hard it is to find.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Investigation. Yeah, 11.
11. Okay, so you make your way up there. You get to the third floor, and you're able to see the teleportation circle. So you go
It's
there.
a couple wrong turns before I make it, but
Yeah, yeah. You get up. You're able to find the stairs. You get to the teleportation circle. You find the teleportation circle. You sit and you stand there, and you sort of, all right.
30 minutes later, I realize I've been going downstairs this whole time.
No. And you sort of stand there, and then at that moment, this austere, sort of older elven woman with sort of like sort of silver hair, sort of comes up to you and says, "How may I help you? You're in
Hi.
my area of the Vellum steeple, and
Are you Arvin?
I am."
Oh, well, perfect. Where I'm trying to get to then. You were interested in artifacts, kind of your area of
Yes, that
knowledge.
is my specialty, my area of interest.
Okay. Oh, I've got one that I've been trying to get rid of, but it's something I'm trying to avoid falling into the wrong hands. Seems like a safest place for it. I'll just to let you know, it is a weapon.
Hmm.
So I'll reach out and carefully pull it out and just
Mhm.
display it. Great axe that I found in the hoard of what seemed to be a dire ogre. A dire
Troll.
ogre, was it? Troll. That's the one. A dire troll. We saw it in our travels. A long story. And the type of weapon I would normally use, but even just holding on to it, I feel something trying to reach into my mind, and it bothers me. I've never been able to bring myself to use it in a fight. Seems like it's got some kind of curse on it. But the craftsmanship in and of itself seems like it would make it very valuable, and to the right person, the enchantment on it, I imagine, will also be of value for study or to others for use.
She reaches out. Takes it, casts a spell. Do you guys know the identify spell?
I don't know the identify spell.
No.
Okay, so she
Oh.
casts a spell, and then she looks at it, her eyes get wide, and she says, "This is a most unique artifact indeed. I am very impressed."
Or too, just looking at it,
You said it was
know,
just in
magic stuff.
a hoard, just in sort of in like where'd
That's
you
what
find it?
That's what it seems to be. As I said, it was a long story. We were on our way to Uthodurn. We got sidetracked. Had to cross this big old bridge that was guarded by an enormous troll. My friends and I managed to dispatch the troll and found a cavern under the bridge that, well, among various skeletons that we had to fight and other creatures, quite a few weapons that seem to have been abandoned or taken or what have you.
Well, this is a berserker axe. It's used by the mountain giants in the Flathead Alps.
The size
Sure.
seemed big even for a great axe.
Yeah. So it's very unique. We don't have anything like it in the museum. How much are you asking for?
Well, I've been told I had it appraised by a curator of, not of this level, but a curator of magical items. And she appraised the value at about 2,000 gold.
I'll give you 3,000.
Oh. Well, thank you very much. You got yourself a deal.
All right. She hands you. She goes back to her office and sort of, she takes the axe, and she's sort of a petite, somewhat lithe woman. She just hoists this large axe and carries it with one hand, and sort of walks back to her office, gathers up the gold, and sort of puts it in a bag, sort of counts it orderly.
As she's doing that, I kind of say under my breath to everyone,
Stronger than she looks.
Means to sort of gather the gold together and puts it in a bag, hands it over to you, and she says, 3,000.
Oh, thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure's all ours. And again, so she sort of like holds it. You can see her looking at the racks and where to put it, and sort of like there's sort of those glass museum cases on the walls. You can see her sort of looking at them, sort of like holding it up.
I guess we'll just head out. She seems to be occupied.
All right.
No, finally.
Get rid of the curse
Nice to
item.
nice to have that off my chest.
So what did it do?
What's that?
What did it do?
It gave you a +1 to attack and damage rolls.
Yeah.
But if you get hit by any enemy, any what's the term D&D uses? Enemy. Creature that is hostile creature. If you get hit by any hostile creature, you have to make a DC like 15 wisdom save. And if you fail, then you have to spend every turn exclusively using that axe to hit the nearest creature you can see, friend or foe. And that effect does not end until you start your turn with no creatures you can see within 60 feet.
Yeah.
So,
You're giving that to me.
so
High wisdom.
I was like, yeah, Gersang, that'd be a great idea.
My negative one.
Even better idea than me having it.
15 or higher.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was tempted. I was very tempted.
Yeah.
But my AC was definitely not high enough to justify that.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to message Atar?
I cannot.
No.
Not fair.
I'm spent today.
The Axidarius didn't really give us a new. Well,
He didn't give us what I was
but
wanting to get.
we knew about politics.
If we could find some physical evidence to implicate the tumble carves, that'd be big.
I mean, we have this body still. That's what he was saying was at
Yeah.
least a start. I mean,
Yeah, I suppose that's
Yeah, the worst that'll happen is we go up to the
And
king
he knew nothing.
and we show him this dead body, and then it doesn't.
and it's just like I was just in Earlus as a tourist, and I was taking a piss, and they killed me. I don't know what happened. Like
That's the worst scenario. If we just look like, or we get arrested.
There you go. Court martial.
and we could reach out to the princess Istria and just let her know that we've got some information and see if she could get us an audience, either with herself or with her father.
Yeah, we need to be able to contact history at that point. Then how do we get in contact with her first?
Who's somebody to talk to.
Was that Goldman?
You could send her. You could do that matching thing, couldn't you?
Or was it Ella?
It was both, I believe. Ellis was the one that got us a bit of this history.
Yeah.
We went to Magnus to talk to him so he could get
I can potentially contact her in the morning. Tomorrow morning, I guess.
What time is it now?
Um,
Sure.
it's getting late now. You guys haven't rest. So this is still your first full day in Uthodurn, um, since you got back from Earlis.
So,
Do we know where Istria's abode is? Maybe we could find Warmore out front or somebody who could.
Where did we meet her?
probably at the palace. Wherever they stay. Palace, president's house, whatever
Yeah.
they call
Up on the grand disc.
Yes, you guys. I don't think you guys have been to where Elif and Cyril are.
it. No, but Istria. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Istria.
We met her at one point, so
Right. So she was in the Grand
She met
Cast.
us on the road, I think.
Yes.
We
Yes.
met at Grand Disc Citadel.
yeah.
In the Grand Cast Citadel is where Istria was. And it's where
Maybe we could go up there and see if we can at least see Borbor. Who could at least then he's her personal bodyguard. He could potentially get us.
Yeah,
in with her.
already here in the grand desk, so
Yeah.
might as well.
right.
Let's
Where you guys
make
go?
our way to the Grand Cast Citadel thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys
And see if we know if we could find a guard out there.
Okay, so you guys headed into head to the Grand Cast Citadel, and sort of this large, sort of looming palace. It's also sort of built for it's built somewhat for beauty, but it's also very structurally sound. It's got that sort of that moat around it that sort of just looms into the abyss. You sort of arrive. There's several guards standing out front. Sort of look at you.
Oh, we're going to see my
Can I see
pattern.
Borbor?
What?
Can
What?
I see Borbor?
No.
They're all wearing the same
Killed it.
attire, same outfit.
Yep. They're all wearing sort of glass blade uniforms.
Do we recognize any of them from the last time we came here?
Make a perception check.
I guess that was like in the morning
Mm-hmm.
or earlier in the day, so probably would be a different shift.
We'll figure to help you.
But perception.
Mm-hmm.
Perception.
No,
Oh, yeah, natural one.
Natural one. All right.
natural 3 for an 8.
All right. Yeah. It's a whole new set of guards. No one you know there. No one you recognize. They look-
And we'll have like beef plates so we can see it.
A new fantastic group of glass blades. No one to help us out.
I'm gonna walk up to the guards and just say, "Hello there."
Excuse me. How may I help you?
We are looking to see Borbor. I do not know if you know where he's at. We have something of urgent need to speak to him about. If you mention the Fellowship of the Chili Sad,
They sort of look around at each other. One of them sort of holds back a laugh. Like, yeah, we'll definitely contact Borbor about the Fellowship of the Chili Sad.
Side check.
Inside check. All right.
That is a 21.
They are definitely not going to tell Borbor about the Fellowship of the Chili Sad.
as
You know-
as I walk back to the back of the group,
I will go ahead.
I'm going to point to and whisper under my breath and cast suggestion on one of them,
Okay.
and the one that I just talked to, and say, "Find Borbor.
All right.
Tell him
So,
Chili Sad is here."
what is the save?
It is a
Wisdom.
Wisdom 17.
Okay. That is a failure. And so you told him to find Borbor.
Find Borbor. Tell him the Chili Sad is here to see him.
So he sort of like stops and sort of like you see like this sort of like, he goes, hey guys, I'm gonna go find Borbor and tell him the Chili Sad's here. And sort of like so he like sort of like whistles at the guards and they sort of lower the drawbridge begins to lower down.
And I'll tell the just whisper to my breath under the party. Borbor is coming.
Nice.
So we just gotta wait here. Just give it a little bit and wait for a few minutes to see if Borbor shows up with the guard.
All right. So how long does suggestion last?
8 hours.
8 hours. Yeah.
Yep.
So the bridge goes down. The guard sort of walks across the bridge into the palace. You guys wait.
Yep.
So then, 10 minutes go by, 20 minutes go by. Then maybe like 35 minutes go by, and then you see the guard come back out, trailed with Borbor and sort of a long cape with sort of his bulging Goliath biceps. He's sort of got a sort of large frame sort of coming down the bridge.
Yeah. He was on that told us about how little.
Yeah.
The dragon one.
And so then the bridge
He's like, yeah.
sort of lands. The guard and Borbor begin to walk across the drawbridge. Fellowship of the Chili Sad, welcome back.
Hello, Borbor. It is good to see you again.
It's good to see you as well.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
Oh, no, it's like,
You know,
it's a 9.
It's 9. He might be happy to see you.
Does he actually get happy though? Is that like, Well,
This is exactly things.
we have news for you, I think, if there's anywhere we could discuss this.
Come inside.
Inside.
Inside we go.
You guys enter into the
Yeah.
Grand Citadel. And he doesn't take you towards the actual castle itself. So there's a large amount of buildings that are there.
Yeah.
that you'd seen before, but you didn't know their function. So he turns down, and there's sort of like this one building that's a decent house, a modest house. And so he turns you towards that, goes inside, he opens it up, and inside you see sort of a house that's got all these sort of like it's got sort of painting sort of like on fur on the walls. It's got different weapons sort of stowed around. There's sort of a simple table and a simple chair there.
Is this your residence, Borbor? This is nice.
Yes, this is where I live. Sort of sits down.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
27.
27. He lives here.
I believe.
Insight check, insight check on the chair, he said.
Ooh, the chair. Make an insight check.
Oh,
No,
Um,
thank you for seeing us on such short notice,
Yes.
Borbor.
Yeah.
yes. So he sort of slides down, and you see this sort of this what news do you have for me?
Well, I know you came to us a few nights ago, discussed a few things and a meeting that you had over was taking place.
I don't remember a meeting.
well, you had
You had discussed,
You
That
had
was
pointed out-
what's her
you had
name?
pointed that
But
out
you did
to,
mention
Agnes or Agatha.
Yeah,
Agatha,
I
yeah.
mentioned Agatha. What
Yeah.
about her?
She
yes,
informed us of a meeting that was taking place between the tumble carves, and she wasn't sure, but it seemed kind of under the table. So we went and investigated. It was down in Earless,
Mhm.
so we
and let's
thought
just tell
it
you
was
that
worth taking the trip. Go ahead.
there is a lot that is going on under the radar here with the Uthodurn.
Such as?
We tell him what happened at the meeting.
Hmm.
Conspiracy to overthrow, to subvert the Tolviels, the major family here, the diarchy, to erect others in power, to take over Queen, to insert somebody else in power. One of the Uttolots, I think it's Uttolot.
So what you were saying is that these dragonborn that assaulted me, they are associated with the Uttlots and the Tumblecarves?
Yes, and the Jezerot works. They were there as well.
Hmm.
This was a massive meeting.
This
We
is
were
most,
there, and we overheard everything.
well, that is most disturbing. Your friend Elith has already been to contact Istria, and I believe they have scheduled a council with the king. Um,
Good.
I told them about my experience with the Dragonborn. Um,
Is there any way that we maybe pray to this council with the king? If you could get us an audience within this council, as we have information that the king may like to hear.
I believe you were invited.
Oh,
I think you were the witnesses, so you need to be there.
Huh.
I just
I'm trying to remember what happened.
That courier must still be running around the city.
we may not have received this message as of yet. This is why we were trying to get in contact with you, as we were looking to have an audience with the king. And so we thought
yes, I think the king is. I mean, even if your accusations were false, which I do not believe them to be, they are credible enough and serious enough that it's worth the king's attention. Um,
when praise
And
this
we,
audience, when praise this meeting.
I believe 3 days from now.
said the accusations were credible. Have the tumble carves been a problem before?
Um, they've been political adversaries. They've been less than uh, upright members of society. They've been suspected of many things, but they are, overall, traitors is a new low for the tumble cars.
Yes, I mean, within every political society, political environment, there is always dissenters, but when there is actual talk of uprising and traitorous discussion, that is where it seems that should draw a line.
Yes.
Unless, of course, the leaders are terrible people to live with.
There are some instances where that is
Yes.
necessary, but this seems like a very fair and just place. Uthodurn, the Tolviels seem very kind and just,
Yes.
revered.
they have been nothing but, I mean, the Talviels and the Frunos, the diarchy, you know,
Yes.
Simone and her mother before her have
Yes.
worked very hard to maintain this precarious situation of dwarves and elves living underground together.
Yes. Well, I don't know much else as to what we have to say to you at the moment, since
What we came forward, an answer.
we were looking to set up an audience with the king, because we had no idea how to get about that, since we do not have direct contact with Anathon himself. But it sounds like there must have been a courier out looking for us at the moment, letting us know that that audience had been set up. But
Yes, I would recommend gathering as much information to corroborate your accusations over the next 3 days as possible. I am more than willing to share my um, part, but Imathon is someone who believes in justice, so he is not going to rashly convict someone uh, unless the evidence is there.
well, we do know that the main financial part, the Sioux trade, plays a big role in this, is what they were saying. We may be able to investigate that over the next few days to see if we could find somebody who has contact with maybe the Tumblekars or the Uttolots within Uthodurn who could.
Yes, there's the glass blades have a unit that specializes in the Sioux trade, and so I would advise going and talking to them. That's not something that we palace guards know much about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I think we should talk to them and see if we could be of service and potentially have a source to bring to this meeting.
Sounds like a good plan. Also, if you have any way of obtaining information, I mean, the tumble cars may keep notes on their dealings.
That would be hard to get, I imagine. Access to.
Mm.
Do some B&E,
There's, I mean,
Some bed and eatery.
where
Heist.
where do you think the main players of the Tumblekars would keep their secrets?
Probably
there-
in their houses near the Libra disc. In the Libra disc.
Yeah. Is there a main area where the Tumblekars reside in the Liberdis? Is there a section of that?
It's located in the Demerant Circle.
Yes, we may check that out and see if we could potentially finesse our way into some information.
Understood.
Maybe a helping hand overheard something.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you meeting with us on such short occasion here, Borbor. I mean, you are a great ally, it seems to us here. You're very helpful, and I think we will be seeing you in court in a few days with Estrella.
We'll see you in court.
Not that kind of thing.
Sue, you've been served, Borbor.
We have a subpoena. I guess now we just have to,
Got 3 days.
we have 3 days to come up with stuff.
Can't go far.
Not come up with stuff, but With that,
To make up
So
everything.
break and enter.
The forged documents.
Yeah.
And we need some time probably to buy some finer clothing.
I don't know what they keep talking about. I'm just gonna suggestion my way to make the thing more green.
That'll work once you get close to it.
Yes. Magic always
Suggestion.
works.
Believe me, King.
Because
never be-
they definitely won't be like closely watching to see if someone is trying to cast spells.
I'm gonna be
In the bag of
unless
holding.
exactly.
Like, stick your hand out the bag of holding.
You know,
throw the bag. We can give the bag of holding to the king with me in it.
Unless you happen to have a subtle spell,
No,
which is
I'm
meta magic.
not a wizard yet.
It's sorcerer. But yeah,
Sorcerer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Sorcerer.
yeah, I'm gonna be the next time. Next character is sorcerer.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I think we should.
Gonna head out,
Yeah, we're head out.
try to
Go.
find some more, something else to help corroborate everything we have.
Find some more evidence. Witnesses maybe as well.
Yeah, it seems like the tumble cars have a possibility. We could find some information.
All right.
all right,
He's Borgor.
See ya.
all right. So you guys head out of Borbor's residence. You head out of the Grand Cast Citadel and you cross the drawbridge and see the guards
Get
again.
guards.
The guy looks at you. So the one guard that got suggestions like looks at you guys.
Hey, thanks for your help, man.
He gives you a irreverent gesture as you leave. And you guys make your way, start making your way from the Grand Disc into the Libra Disc. All of a sudden, this like courier runs up to you, hands you guys this this really ornate and sort of like finely finely written envelope. Hands it to you.
Oh, hello.
All right.
What is this?
It's awesome. You know.
It's a summons to the you have an audience. You've been summoned to an audience with the king. 3 days hence.
Oh, have we now? We already knew about this.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Here,
Yeah.
here's 2 copper for your job, though. And I'll slide into gold, though, with it as well.
He runs off.
That went okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
sounds like we have an opportunity in a few days, but we also have some time to.
Now we need time to corroborate or ensure we have everything straight.
I mean, we should
Go.
investigate some of the tumble cars, I think, to see if we could potentially sneak some evidence away from them.
Acquire.
That's true. We have a band of people here who have proven themselves worthy of sneaking around.
Yeah, we may need some supplies for that.
Yeah. We can stop by.
They had some potions, didn't they?
I don't think I have to be.
Or should we go look around first and see maybe if we can get an idea?
Well, if we're level, we were level 7.
We go take a look and kind of see, maybe there's like
Let's walk around. Let's walk around.
how long it take to get to the Libra?
The Libra disc.
I imagine we have an idea.
Oh, with the Libra disc?
Yeah.
So the Libra disc is about, like probably less than 20 minutes from the Grand disc.
We go scope it out, and then maybe make a plan of attack.
Okay.
Let's go.
Sound good?
Make an investigation check. Whoever's looking for the Demerant circle.
You can do it.
Oh,
They're
it's like
much more investigative than we are now.
oh, it's +1. It's a 16.
9.
9. All right. So Gerthang sort of like looks around and he sees like sort of a couple letters that look like he's like, that looks like the Draconic for. Sort of heads over towards sort of like the and then you do actually see you are able to sort of pick out this is the Demerant circle. You can look around and you can quickly see the sort of the ship's sort of steering wheel banners that you guys saw both in Earlus and at outside the house where you guys met Agatha Thimbletoe. And you see several houses. You see them fluttering on the walls of several houses in this area.
Well, Agatha, she didn't seem like against the tumble cars, did she? Because we talked to her, she wasn't like she would go rogue for them, but she did offer up information against them.
True. We could go speak to her again because she definitely knew she worked within them.
It is getting quite late at this point. Now it's getting sort of into evening.
Is it like populated outside, or is it all like people?
It's
going
somewhat
to-
sparse now, yeah. And then the lights are sort of.
So maybe we should make our way back here in the morning, or maybe we could just
Say we
Go
I
right
say
now.
we just walk around now.
There's a window.
I mean, it's not too late. We have time to at least look around a little bit, I think.
See if there's like a tree by a window.
Yeah.
Or
See if we can notice a certain house that would
I'll send Major Chad kind of flying around, see if he can see anybody in windows in particular that looks like they're doing anything important, maybe.
All right.
Like,
and I'll just look from the street, see if I can.
So
notice
yeah, so as Major Shag goes up, what are you rolling perception?
Yeah.
14.
14?
And I'm just looking from the street.
Okay. What'd you roll, Wilfred?
24.
24? Okay. So as Major Chad sort of leaves your arm, he sort of he has to look around, sort of sees over the fence. He's sort of flying in towards one of these houses. All of a sudden, he sort of like hits this wall of force. Invisible wall
At
of
a house?
force. In front of one of the houses.
And as soon as he
Is he stuck in there, or is he like hit a wall and like fall
Sure,
down?
he hits it.
bounces off,
Hmm.
and I'll call Major Chad back as soon as he encounters any kind of like trouble like that. Is like,
Okay.
what was that? And I'm letting people know it's like there's this house that has seemingly a wall of energy around it that Major Chad cannot get through. And this seems like probably a very important house. And can I tell you where was that house at?
So there's sort of like a cul-de-sac, and sort of it's the one at sort of the farthest away, farthest down, for the end of the Demerant circle.
That's that house at the end here of the Demerant circle. That might be
that's probably it.
a likely place to.
But how do we get to it?
How far away was that when he was like?
How far away from what?
Or like
Or
how far was like the circle, like the force?
Okay. So yeah, so it was maybe like 15 to 20 feet away from the house.
Well, maybe we could walk over to it and see. Maybe we could just walk around. Let's just walk around the circle and.
And it's from the house itself, but obviously the fence is it was inside the fence, but around that. But sort of like as he was flying, sort of hit it getting into the fence.
We'd have to jump a fence to get
To the wall. Can we see over is the Can we see like over the fence, or is it like? Yeah,
So
no.
with no, I mean it's too high for you, yeah, especially you. With 24, you look around, you see that
I see a really good fence.
yeah, you see some fences. You do look around and you see that sort of that human woman with sort of the jet black hair and the streak of red in her hair, sort of
Yeah.
looking. Um,
Is she out on the street, or is she she's out on the street?
she's out on the street, yeah. And you catch a glimpse of sort of a some red hair and some elvish features that you'd seen before.
Let's,
I say we go back. Let's go take some rest.
We know where right now, we just don't know how.
let me see something real quick. And I'm gonna walk over kind of, how far away from the fence are we? Are we like closer?
So you guys probably were like 75, 80 feet to the fence, but if you want to walk, if you're walking that direction, you can probably get relatively close.
Yes, let's walk over to the fence here, and I'm gonna walk over to the fence,
Mm-hmm.
kind of or right behind me, I guess.
I say we should leave.
And I'm going to, can I see through the fence? Is there like any kind of see through at all, or is it like just a?
The sort of the wall. Are you talking about the wall around?
Oh, I didn't know, not the force wall, but like the fence.
Right.
wall.
Yeah. I mean, so there are parts of it that are sort of fencing. There are parts of it that are brick wall. Stone wall. So.
So if there's any part that I can kind of like see through it all,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna cast Mage Hand through there
Okay.
and send it in that direction 30
Okay.
feet to see if it can get through.
Yeah. So as you do that, you are able to get the mage hand through the fence and up to, close to the house.
Is it through the force wall?
It's through the area. Yeah. I mean, it's probably
There-
within 20 feet of the house. Yeah.
So it seems like it's past the point where Major Chad hit the force wall.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so then I'll take Mage Hand away and kind of go back with the group.
Okay.
Just kind of giving me ideas to kind of see what. Well, I mean, it seems like some things can pass through.
Iron Dome.
Yeah.
I say we should go get some rest.
Yeah.
Getting late.
Yeah.
Probably should. We know where now.
And I started heading back.
Let's head back to the broken stool or wherever we were staying last.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so.
You guys head back to the broken stool. Make your way up into the broken stool is it, you see make your way up to the volition disc. You see the older dwarven woman Luda behind the desk and come in. Alrog's sort of there having sort of a drink by himself in the corner, sort of
As we
glaring.
walk through the volition disc, I'm just going to keep an eye out to see if I see that familiar woman that I've noticed at the ranger's house.
Make a perception check.
Go ahead. Hey, natural 20. 21.
Wow. All right. So as you're walking through, you see this um, lithe, red-haired elvish woman with with pointed ears, sort of walking, sort of beside you, sort of in the same direction as you, and you sort of recognize the red hair, and you see her.
Does it seem like she's following us, or it just
No,
just
not
seem like
really.
she happens to be in the same place?
Seems like just happens to be in the same place.
She's not like looking in our direction necessarily.
So you watch her for
Okay.
a minute. She just sort of looks over, sort of looks into a shop, sort of peeks in, doesn't seem to see any entrance, looks over. You sort of looks at you, like, and then there's this like moment where you're like, Wait, she's looking at me, and her eyes sort of, like you can see her sort of like a little half smile appearing on her cheeks, and she stops and looks away and continues on her way.
He was a married man. No. So as soon as when we get back, anyone notice that we might have been followed like the whole day?
What? Were we?
A woman with brown hair and a red streak. She was nearby for most of the day.
I didn't see anything.
That would stand out to me.
When did you first see her?
What was it? 3 days ago, or like last time we were in here, or last time we were in
That would have been last night
Uthodurn,
before.
like before we left to Uttolot,
Point of order. So you saw
or was it another woman that had right here?
a red-haired elf in your
Okay.
first Uthodurn. And then since you've gotten back to Uthodurn, you've been seeing this human woman with black hair and a red streak in her hair.
Well, noticed her when we got back from Uttolot.
Interesting.
Like,
Is she here right now?
did she? I would have said this when we got inside. Did she? Did I see her come towards the broken stool?
You haven't seen her since you got into the volition disc. She seems to have sort of disappeared.
I haven't seen her since
That-
we got here.
That description wouldn't mean anything in particular to me, would it?
Make a history check.
Gotta say things when you see things. Or else we end up with.
I wasn't sure if my
And-
mind.
10? No. Doesn't ring any
Is this
bells.
somebody that you could talk to? Can you talk to them once you see them, or do you have to have spoken to them?
I'll be able to talk to her.
Tomorrow.
Maybe we could reach
Tomorrow.
down and ask her who she is, what she wants. She doesn't seem.
I'm not sure if anyone else had noticed because I could have just been. I wasn't sure, just playing tricks on my mind. But
Yeah.
since I've seen her most of the day now,
I haven't seen or noticed anybody myself.
And we are getting into dangerous territory of people would probably kill to keep information quiet that we may have stumbled across.
Yeah.
If they knew that we were looking.
Should we,
So this could be somebody
should someone,
have information.
It's true.
It's a risk, but she hasn't seemingly taken any
she hasn't.
action or initiative yet.
should we take watches just in case?
Yeah, as always.
Yeah.
So as you guys
Take
go
turns.
by the sort of the barkeep, Luna says, "Oh, there's a letter here for one of you folk.
Which one?
Mr. Biona.
Oh. Okay.
It's from a Shady Creek Run."
Oh. Hand it over.
Hands it to you.
By all means. I'll toss her a gold.
All right.
Karrik is the background, the head behind everything.
All right.
Who is it from? Does it have a name?
Doesn't have a name on it.
Do I recognize the handwriting?
Make a history check.
I mean, I assume it'll probably be addressed once I open it, but just
There's
right
stamp.
off the
Can we get their DNA?
bat,
They-
5.
5. No, you don't recognize the handwriting.
Open this when we get to our room.
Yeah.
Go up to our room,
Oh, true.
and I open the letter.
Okay. You open the letter, and in it, in it there are 5 words. The Jagantoths killed your mother.
I still don't.
Is this a break?
There's no name, no address.
The Jagantoths?
Mm-hmm.
I assume we're not reading the letter.
Mm.
Unless we-
I'm peering over Garrett's shoulder. Eric, what does this say?
Better be something good.
It's family business. Yeah. I'm not really sure what to make of it, to be honest.
Whoa.
I'll just pass it around. I'll just show it.
Is it like written in cutout
Magazine.
magazine?
No, it's written in nice handwriting. You know,
Yeah.
sort of-
Does it match the,
But not handwriting that I recognize.
No.
does it match the Mr. Biona on the front of the envelope?
Does it match the what?
The Mr. Biona on the front of the envelope.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Gee, who are the Jagan Paws?
It's. I guess none of you are terribly familiar with Shady Creek Run, but kind of lives up to its name. It's a city of criminals, basically.
Yeah.
And the Uttolots, of course, they're one of the major crime families that vie for control of the town. But there's several other families that all hold sway and all continually try to outdo each other and getting control over that little scrap of land. And Jagantoths are one of those.
Well, I mean, is your mother in
Dead.
Oh
Shady?
yeah, that's been years. I've never known who did it.
Do you know what happened?
Hmm?
Do you know what happened?
I don't think so. I'm trying to open Google Docs on my phone because I have as whatever backstory I have written down and get it open.
That one sentence that you wrote that you don't remember.
The Jagantoths did it.
No, I came back to visit one time and found out that she'd been killed. I don't think I've never really been able to find out who was responsible. I assumed it was one of these crime families. When we started running into the Uttolots, I suspected maybe they were involved, but no, I don't know who this is. Don't really know what to make of it.
Well, I mean, it sounds like the Uttolots could still be involved. From what we heard from the meeting, it sounds like Jagoda is going to Shady Creek Run himself
Yeah.
to see what he can take control of there and try and coerce some more power.
Where did my thing go? No, oh, here it is. Okay.
Sorry, just pulling up my backstory. See if there's anything else that's important.
Yeah, my dad still lives down there, and I don't think he's doing too great. I don't think he sent this. I think I'd recognize his handwriting, but I don't know if this is a real tip or a joke, or I don't know.
You know why anyone would want to kill your mother?
Let's see, scrolling through backstory.
Just making you read.
Well, my of course, a lot of this was before I was born, but both of my parents were related to important families in the Dwendalian Empire. My dad had an ambition when he was young to prove himself and clean up the city of Shady Creek Run and make it into a respectable place. I was born when they were on the way out, just moving in, and kind of threw his plans off to take care of me and my mother, and his dream never really came to pass, and he ended up just stuck in Shady Creek all his life. And I mentioned that I left the Glass Blades. My plan was to go back to Shady Creek and live there, and that's when I discovered that my mother had been killed. But
Shady Creek is east of us.
the southeast-ish, I think.
Mostly south, a little bit east.
A little bit east. Right.
That's quite a trip.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you here, Jack. I mean, it sounds like you might finally have some closure as to what's happened to your mother, but this
Yeah.
Unforeseen to receive this here in Uthodurn, it sounds like, now at all times.
And whoever sent it knew where you were.
HR.
I made my peace with this a long time ago, but yeah, this just brings back a lot. Maybe once we wrap all this up, go check it out. But to be honest, I'm not eager to go back to Shady Creek. Be nice to see my dad, though. Yeah, anyway, we ought to get some rest.
Yeah. I look out I keep an eye out the window.
Make a perception check.
I started seeing the back of my eyelids pretty quickly. I
What?
rolled a 2.
Yeah, you look
But
out the
that's
window, and next thing you know, it's like next morning, and you just like fell asleep looking out the window. Wake up.
Yep, no one here. I didn't see anyone.
Well, thanks for keeping a watch there, Wilfred.
All night.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but
Were other people trying to take watches? Because if you guys were trying to take watches,
thought so, yeah, I thought we were.
so whoever's getting next watch, yeah, you can wake up.
Yeah, I mean, I
Who's
was
taking
gonna
second
take,
watch?
yeah.
All right,
We're in separate rings.
roll up perception check.
Yeah, that is true.
I rolled a 11, Major Chad rolled a 19.
Okay, so you sit up there. You don't really see too much as you wait up in the night, sort of looking out.
I
Major
basically
Chad,
have just Major Chad's just like perched right on the window, right outside, just kind of looking, not really flying around, but just kind of looking at the hotel or whatever, just around.
yeah. So Major Chad is looking down, and he sees this woman come up with sort of this woman that Wilfred described come up to the door a couple times, sometimes with comrades, sometimes alone. It seems like she can't. It seems like for something. She's just not entering the door. The door. She'll come up to it. She'll stay outside it. She'll look inside.
We're not at home.
That's somebody's residence.
And yes,
I'll take note of that.
Right.
we also should update our resume one time. We're an adventuring party vampire slayer.
Van Helsing.
We try to get jobs.
Fellowship initially said
Vampire. So
this is vampires.
We laugh at our name. We won't kill the next vampire.
All right, who's got last watch?
I can take watch there.
You.
Very small.
All right, so whoever's taking last watch.
All right.
All right.
Perception there, man. It's an 8.
Eight.
Hey, more better than I did.
So you sit up and look around. You don't see a whole lot. You sort of sit there,
Yeah.
looking around. But then as dawn starts to come, you see, some banners and some things. You don't see a whole lot.
I'm in my in room, so I'm just looking around.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing came all night, guys. Gotta say it.
Just snoozing.
Wow. You guys didn't see anything?
No, nothing.
I kind of saw. It seemed like that woman you were describing, dark hair with a red streak.
You saw her?
Major Chad.
Well, I'm not hallucinating. Great.
She seemed to kind of come up to the door a few times throughout the night, but would not come in, even with a party. There was a few times she came up with a group of people, and she never entered.
Did she try to enter, or did she just stand there looking?
Didn't really seem that she tried. It seemed like she knew that she wasn't coming in. I'm not really sure. I mean, it sounded to me.
The whole night.
Welcome me in. No.
But that leads me to believe she might be
There might be something about these vampires things.
a vampire, as they are required to have.
I assume that works at
Acceptance.
D&D land.
That to be welcomed within.
Because I know that trope from, this is metagaming, but I know that trope from like our world.
Vampires.
Yeah,
Vampire Diaries.
Dracula.
Grant's
Um,
trope.
Make a history check. Whoever's or yeah.
Well, I had
history.
the vampire history myself from a while back.
Yeah, you did. Well,
Would you remember what you rolled?
Oh wow! I mean, I knew that they were. I mean, I knew everything about. I don't remember that was
you knew a decent amount. About
when
it.
we met Pally and then how to kill them and everything.
Right.
I did not know much about it.
That was like a lot farther back. So that was like when we first ran into vampires out in Isocross and
Make another history check then. Whoever wants to.
Do we did we come upon any books that dealt with vampires?
Well, you guys haven't been looking for
Any of
books.
this book from Aor that we had?
Make an investigation check.
Uh, my passive investigation is 15, but I rolled a 7.
7. Okay. No, there's nothing in any of those books in AR. What you rolling for?
At 11.
11. Okay. You with based on your previous good roll, I'll say you do know that vampires cannot enter residencies without permission.
I assume that was the case.
Yeah. This leads me to believe that this is a vampire myself. Just knowing from some of the things I've heard down on the Nazareth coast, they've talked about vampires in that area, and just my time adventuring.
Knowing our luck, she's probably trying to thank us for overthrowing Hallian so she can step in.
Who was it that's actually controlling
Lord Arcaron.
Lord Acheron?
That's right. He wasn't the big bad.
I remember that. I didn't have to look it up.
So, well, that's just another thing on our plate that we have to watch out for.
Do we go confront, or do we just let it run its course?
Well, last time we let it right, of course.
We destroyed them.
That's true.
Yeah, without armor.
We murdered them in an open field, just blatantly just slaughtered.
I mean, I did walk up to the pulpit.
I was half asleep when that happened too.
But we're in a city now, so imagine.
Well, like I was saying, Wilfred, you could, like you said, you could potentially message, chat, whatever.
You could invite her into this residence, and then we could ambush her when she comes in. Hey, I noticed you were checking me out earlier.
Hey,
Hey,
trying to come meet me?
Where I'm saying.
Broken stool. 8 o'clock. Be there.
Or B square.
Ooh. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, if that's a course we could take, because I'm not sure who she is. It seems like she's a vampire to me. But you never know. This could be a vampire who is grateful. Maybe Lord Acheron is an adversary to her.
And we showed ourselves by defeating
Italian with his minions.
Do we I have a question,
Mhm.
DM?
Mhm.
This
DME.
DMEN. Back when we got cursed, did we feel like any different? Like, did we
No.
feel like a curse was bestowed or anything?
How would you feel like a curse was bestowed?
I don't know. Like, I can learn the spell remove curse.
Let's look up what that spell does.
That spell, at your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object in. If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but its spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded.
Okay.
But all curses affecting one creature or object.
So I don't think that is yeah, I don't think you felt like that spell would apply. I don't think.
All right.
Maybe she's in on all this stuff going down. Seems like everyone else is.
Somebody Uthodurn's the city to be.
Conspiracy and me.
All right. So what are you guys doing as you guys wake up and begin your day?
Our options today are stake out,
Break and enter.
break and enter,
We could talk to Agatha about that. 'Cause that's who we
or talk to her, yeah,
talk talk to her first. See
You know,
if she
didn't I
can-
see, during the meeting down in Earlis, did I see, I think Jagoda tossed something to Tom Bard at some point in the meeting, maybe payment, I don't know. I remember something, some small thing was tossed to Tom Bard, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's too late now to ever find that, but if we do any kind of investigating, that might be something to keep an eye out for.
I know there were some exchange. Yes, I know Meter Chad saw something being exchanged. Not sure really what it was.
So that's one direction we can go. Anywhere else? Anything else we can take care of today?
Other than, I mean, Golgothier and the suit trade is the other lead that I think we have, but
That's more than, we've got.
We don't- yeah.
Well, this day and
And
then.
that's, what, 2 days to
yeah,
travel
I mean,
there?
we're not gonna be able to make that. I'm just saying, that's the lead, other lead that we have, I think. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to try and investigate the phone cars here, see what we can
Do.
finesse some information away from them. Some items of importance.
Right.
Should we try to get some, well, I don't know what we can get for supplies before we go.
We could stop by this potion shop. Perhaps pick up a few invisibility potions, but also, yes,
Because we could be too suspicious, you know,
yeah,
if they have a break and entering and something stolen. And then it'll come out that we took it. Probably, especially if we showed as evidence.
perhaps we could get Agatha to steal it for us.
Then she knows. Then they have someone that knows.
But she is very,
We have to probably pay her off.
yeah, she
Pretty
seems
well.
very, well, she seems very,
Trustworthy?
she seems very looking for
Herself.
herself. Yeah, she seems
Yeah,
out
she
for
should be a
herself,
businesswoman.
and money is her.
Yeah.
I think that we
Well,
could very much bribe her well enough to access information for us.
Yeah. It could work.
There-
But by the same token, you know, she might take our money and then turn around and tell the tumble carves what that we were trying to bribe her because, you know, get her more respect and keep her in job security. Maybe they might reward her for her honesty and yeah. It's a possibility, but it could easily, the love of money could easily work for us or against us.
Well, yes, I mean, but she is also the one that we know who has the most access to the tumble cars.
That's true. True.
We could blackmail her.
What do we have?
She's given away secrets about their meetings through.
Yeah. That seems a little, I'm not sure I really want to go there.
It's an option.
Like I said, she has the most access that we know of to information that we need. It's going to be extremely difficult for us personally to get within the walls of the tumble cars to retrieve information.
Without being spotted and without being, well, unless we don't, we could just ask her if there's a time when they won't be at the house. She doesn't have to know any more than that. So she can deny it. We could reward her. Let's say they have a meeting or something tomorrow. They're out of the house. Would there be a time when nobody's in there, nobody's
Sure.
Just ask their itinerary and see when they're gonna be out. We don't need to.
and she doesn't have to know more than that. She may not even want us to tell her any more than that.
Yeah. That would
And
give
then
us
she gets her
access.
money, and then she can deny that, she did anything. We were just asking for, when they would be out of the house.
That's not suspicious.
Also, could anyone recall any information about that wall that Major Chad ran into?
The Iron Curtain.
The curtain
It seemed to,
that could impede our.
You tried out with your little handy thing.
there seemed to be ways to get through it. I have this
They let
spell.
walk through it.
Yeah.
Prevent somebody from lobbing a fireball over the wall.
I'm not sure what is getting through and what is not getting through, but we have to try. Major Chad was not able to fly through, but my mage hand was able to pass through.
Magic pass through. Creature cannot
A magic creature.
fade. And I do know that there are some things that target fade.
Well, we could also get like an animal to try to sneak in. I can talk to animals. I could try to
I could
tell
also
one.
Snowden.
I could try to tell like a rat that we catch.
It's probably dead by now.
I could
Man,
see
if
through
only
his
there was a
eyes.
member of our party that was able to turn into animals.
Well, I'm not quite there yet.
Oh,
Guys?
You're getting close, aren't you?
I can turn into animals, guys.
oh, who's that?
RNL pops his head in the window.
No.
Oh, hi, Renell.
Tyrell, you're here?
Mm.
Yeah, there's this rat in the corner the whole time.
Peter Pettigrew?
No.
But would he be a magical animal?
When he's transformed, does he look
He looks like an animal.
does he look identical to that animal, or is he like there's some magical
It's like-
essence to it that could show
It's like
all-
an animal, but you can see like Sarno's features.
Let me look that up.
I think he transforms into the animal.
Like he's not considered like a magic creature, I imagine. If we're worried about like a magic shield blocking. Well, but you're making. So I can also see through an animal's
would he be able to see through
eyes. Sirenel's
Siren's eyes?
I have no idea. I know I can't see through faith.
Yeah, I think you can probably it probably isn't unique.
So it looks just like a animal that like
Yeah.
any other animal.
And it's not like a polymorph. Polymorph would be.
Because it's wild shape. It's wild shape for
Yeah, it just says the beast.
Yeah. Because I know in both in Critical Role they do sort of flavor on their polymorphs and wild shapes, but I don't think that that's necessary.
Yeah, I know in the this was like the first episode of season 1. They transformed into a bear, and it looked just like Trinket. So like,
Yeah, I think they've done that with like moths and stuff too.
so like I think at least to the untrained eye, you can't tell.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is. It would be a Wild shape. Wild thing.
All right.
Well, I mean, also, I don't have to see through his eyes. You can just go in.
Yeah, he has faults and he's not.
And you
playing.
can always message him if you need to.
But he does speak like a beast.
Do you, NPC, want to do this? For us?
Um,
Well, first we need to request and ask Agatha, honestly, to see what times they will or will not be there.
yeah, because
Wait, see if we can get an itinerary of where we would like to. I don't know. How do we go about that without?
We just ask her. And pay her.
Yeah.
She seems one to hold her secrets after money.
I'm not one that does the secrets with
too bad we're all part of conspiracy right now.
Well, you're in one.
Not technically in it, but like.
Yeah.
Definitely dealing with it.
I could bestow curse. I could bestow my own curse.
What we talk
It's not, it wouldn't be under spells. I personally asked for vote yes, but
For what?
sneaking in.
What'd you say, Asher?
I personally vote yes to sneak in.
Yeah, but if we send in Siren now and he gets captured,
Well,
that's it.
no harm to us.
Yeah, that's one less NPC.
How well can you keep a secret, Siren?
We could just kill him at that point.
If we sent in a real animal, assuming they would listen. If they
You
get
had
captured or killed, it's not.
you had some ability with talking to animals. Can
That's
you
what and so did Siren.
yes, but controlling.
I can see things they see, hear things they hear. I can give them directions and then they do what they want, but
This is why I'm saying we should just
Just
get
go in.
one of us as a
sneaky boy.
person should sneak
Yeah.
in. Either with some invisibility potion or somebody who is very sneaky themselves.
I can be pretty sneaky as long as I'm not wearing my armor.
Not great.
I'm not all that sneaky. This cloak helps hide a little bit, but
Yeah, you get that sneaky cloak.
I can fly.
I can fly, I can fly, I can fly.
they fly now. You fly now.
Yeah, you and the artist did pretty well at the sled place.
I appreciate that.
Well, as in,
You were
we
not-
completed the mission.
You were not in there with us. It was, we completed this, yes.
Yeah,
We did
Well-
as best we could, but it was very close, I would say, as you could see us running out of there. But yes, I mean, we were able to get in without being noticed until the last minutes, and
well, you're not trying to kill anyone this time.
yeah, it's free.
Or break anything.
We're trying to swipe. So we could, I don't know where that potion shop is, but I could swing by and get a potion or two. We can't buy, we bought it like 12 of them. That might be like suspicious.
No, we're just having an invisibility party, guys. Come on.
I feel like one invisibility potion.
Depends on if we send in 1 or 2 people.
Can you drink half of an invisibility potion to get half invisibility
My,
length?
my top half goes invisible.
No.
Or do you just become translucent?
Left, right.
Drink half of it. Then half.
your inside goes invisible, your outside stays.
Yeah, I've never been able to see it anyway. Yeah, I mean, there was that lady that I was trying to sell my bowl to. She had some potions and things.
Check it out.
Buy some other things listed to like, like get like a big shopping list. I'm like, oh, also, some
And
additional-
invisibility.
You don't go
potion.
buy rope, duct tape, and a shovel at the same time.
Yeah, you buy a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And like space it out on your cart.
I think that this is that these sellers here are reputable enough that to not.
You go to the police after.
I think they have HIPAA laws here. From what I hear.
Do they have laws against this evidence was obtained illegally
No,
throughout in court?
I don't think so.
Make a history check.
I've been thinking about that the whole time.
History is 13. 13.
13. You don't know of any laws like that.
No laws.
Karrik never went to like court to like, like how like cops would go to like traffic infractions. and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, if I did, I wasn't paying attention.
You didn't ever like arrest somebody and they're like, oh, well, you stole that. And you didn't have a warrant or whatever.
I planted this evidence on the suspect.
Yeah.
I swear, sir, that's not my drugs.
All the glass plates don't have to wear a scrying board on them at all times.
Yeah. There's been this real controversy about are glass blades using excessive force against dwarves or not?
Anyways,
Most of them are good, but some of them,
All glass blades are bad.
Green lives matter.
so I think like, yeah, we could probably go.
Yeah, I mean,
That is, especially like if we end up being right, if we go steal it and it's like, oh, this is just like
their grocery list.
it's like, oh, yesterday I woke up at this time and I, looked at the wall for 5 minutes,
Meditated.
meditated, and then I went downstairs. And it was like an okay day. It's like that, and we could get in trouble.
It's
but,
like his depression journal.
yeah,
I had a breakfast of 300
breakfast at
350 calories.
3 p.m. I had breakfast.
Then I went to Soul Cycle.
Walked down with a bunch of this.
Right. Sounds good. But yeah, I guess we should talk to Agatha and see if we could potentially figure out what information she has on this house. If they're
Yeah, sounds good.
see if we could
Got a plan, Denny.
influence her to give us some itineraries as to when
Let's go.
that house may be cleared.
Let's go.
All right.
You guys want to link arms and skip?
Yeah.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
I'm not very.
Right before we
but
get there, I'm gonna cast
Karrik, join in.
invisibility.
I'm going along with
Invisibility.
Invincibility?
Enhanceability.
Oh, okay.
Enhanceability. Oh,
I'm
I
gonna cast Eagle Splendor onto Karrik, so you have advantage on charisma checks.
Charisma
Not,
check.
not Karrik, Ingward. I was gonna do Ingward.
No,
Sorry.
I mean, I already have advantage on intimidation.
Yeah,
all right.
as we're skipping, I just.
Fine. So there's like it's like one of those the Batman the chili sad song go like it goes in and out like the old Batman cartoons. Later that day, you guys arrive out in front of the
That's what I call a transition.
uh
Cut out, cut all,
Actors all beat up on the
needless-
side, outside. Fine, now.
I mean, we do have a banner that could spin and like
What?
spin back out.
you guys make your way down the Libras.
Editing team, add that in post.
And so as you guys make your way from the Volition disc down to the Libra disc, you guys go ahead and make your way back to the sort of the house of one of the daughters of the of the Tumblecar family, and where you had found Agatha Thimbletoe. You arrive outside sort of like this like wrought iron gate and this sort of large wall around with the sort of the banners of the Tumblecars on the parapets on the walls.
I could also cast on the Karrik if I do a third level.
Oh,
Is the handsome ability in concentration?
It is concentration, up to an hour.
So
But at third level, I could cast on 2 people.
okay.
Big spell slot. I think.
That's my highest level spell slot.
we're at the gate of Agatha's house or,
Yep.
or guard place.
Yep.
Where in relation? So that's at the volition disc or the Libra disc, right?
Liberius, yeah.
Where, like, to the dim errant circle is this house? Like,
Right, so the Demerant circle is sort of down and sort of to the west of sort of where you guys are right now. This is a little bit higher up in the Libra disc, and a little bit to the east. But the whole thing sort of spirals upward like a corkscrew. So so it's sort of like it's on the opposite side of sort of like the circular discs.
yeah.
I will actually do a third level spell
Okay.
and target both Angor and Karrik.
And I'll knock on the gate.
Dun, dun. This servant comes up. It's sort of a gnomish woman. How can I help you?
Hello,
Hello.
we're here to speak with Agatha. We had some news for her.
What you all wanted to talk to Agatha about?
Excuse me.
What you all wanting to talk to Agatha about?
She had discussed with us some things, and we were returning to give her some updated information. And I'll give him 2 gold. Her.
Okay. Make a persuasion check with advantage.
That's a 24.
24. Oh, thank you very kindly, mister. And so she sort of runs inside, comes out, and then back comes sort of Agatha Thimbletoe, sort of this austere, well-dressed, sort of aging, but not aged gnome. Kind of, she looks at you guys and looks down a little bit sheepishly. Oh, you're the folks with the sadness, the chilly sadness, right?
The Fellowship of the Chili Sad at your service, yes.
Oh, what do you need now?
Oh, Agatha, we come returning, just looking to speak about the information you have given us and looking to discuss further, and perhaps looking to possibly get some more information. Is there anywhere we could discuss this?
She sort of like sticks her hand through the gate.
And I'll hand her 5 gold.
Right. What you looking to discuss?
Well, we'd like to discuss that in private without any prying ears.
All right. Let's go to a walk to the tumbling tank goods.
I will keep an eye out for the what we believe to be a van.
Okay. Make a perception check.
24.
24. So you look around,
19.
you don't really see anything, and then on the corner of your eye, you see that sort of that woman with the black hair, the red streak in her hair.
Could invite her into the Uttolot.
Hey, look, this is our house. You can come into this house. Definitely ours. Please enter.
All right.
We're walking down to the tumbling tankards.
Yep. So you head in. Sorry, get a table in the corner that's sort of out of earshot of anyone. Sort of she gets a mug of ale. It's drinking it. Oh, what y'all looking to find out?
Well, we appreciate your information previously. We followed up on a lead that you had discussed about hearing the tumble cars having a meeting down in Earlis. We followed up on that.
Hmm?
And we're looking to gather more information. It seems like there is some things going on in Uthodurn that are, how should I put this, severe.
All right.
And we know you are working within the tumble cars family.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, the other night we were searching around and went down to the Demerent Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and seems to be there is a house that is guarded per se.
What did it look like?
I'll describe the house that Major Chad kind of had a big wall around it, and it seemed like there was a circle of magic, a force that blocks some things.
Oh yeah, that's probably Master Tombard's house.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, very interesting. It seemed very much as a prominent house in the neighborhood. That was the only one that it seemed we saw that had this extra layer of protection. I think we were wondering if you know of any particular times throughout the days when this house perhaps may be unoccupied or have very minimal staff within.
Sort of looks at you. Holds out her hand.
Okay, I'll stick over Tinkle for this.
All right. How much?
10.
10. Okay.
Wow.
I think usually in the evening or so, sort of in the afternoon, it tends to be less occupied. I can't guarantee that no one will be there, but usually Master Tombard does his business after lunch and before dinner.
Are you aware of any particular rooms within this house that I guess Master Tombar may keep his study?
Oh, he has
Yeah.
a sort of a museum that he keeps. I I'm not sure exactly what sort of magic where exactly they would be, but they're sort of on the sorry the on the second floor there's a sort of a gallery where they put a lot of their pretty things that they like to gather.
I see. And do you know anything of this barrier, this force barrier?
No, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, I see. Well, I do not know if there's any other. Good.
I will slide over 50 gold and just ask,
What do you know about any dealings that Tom Bard has under the table?
I know. Sort of like pulls it up, looks at it, looks at you. I know. Master Tom Bard has links with the Uttolots. Um,
So you are aware of that.
yes. Um, I also know he has connections down in Golgothir where they get the suit from.
I had a feeling that you knew a bit more than you were letting on. But
That's all I
certainly
know.
understand information is pricey. What do you know about his connection with the Uttolots?
I know it started off as a business partnership, where the Tumble Cars and the Uttolots working to recover things from the Malayasmere. And it started off pretty un pretty uncorrupt, pretty above the board. Um, where the Uthlots were just being hired to obtain artifacts from Malayasmere. Um, but over time, it became more intertwined, more entrenched.
Seems as though it runs a lot deeper than even you might be aware. I think your employers are into some shady business. Would you be willing to testify? We're looking to bring evidence before the Talviels, because, as we said, we've discovered this runs a lot deeper, and testimony from someone inside the family may go a long way to support their involvement with the Uttolots.
And I'm sure, as you may well know, if we can procure some evidence, and if your testimony helps, as you well know, the Tolviels are a generous diarchy, and they could very much support you if things come to light. I think you'll be well rewarded.
Make persuasion checks, Karrik and Angvor.
Yeah, both at advantage.
24.
Okay. Karrik?
Both of us are rolling with advantage.
Yes.
Yes.
Word.
I am looking pretty uncomfortable.
That is a natural 20 for 22.
All right. Yeah. So she looks over and she says, "Yeah, if you pay enough, yeah, I'm willing to testify against Master Tombard and um,
I think if we can prove this conspiracy, I think there will be a much greater reward than anything we'd be able to give you.
from the who?
Well, I would imagine that royalty here in Uthodurn would be very pleased to have been made aware of a plot to overthrow them. I have to imagine that they would be providing some financial compensation if what we can.
I would
What
be
we're
willing.
saying is can be proven. And
I would-
the people involved brought to justice, I imagine they would reward you for being involved in stopping the plot.
I would be willing to testify against the tumble cars.
Good, it's a good decision.
Well,
Well, we
I
are
do agree.
meeting. We're meeting with the king, I believe, in 2 days to discuss with him the other evidence that we've been privy to. I suppose in the meantime, if you keep your eyes and ears open, if you come across anything else that could, or if you're aware of anything that you could bring as physical evidence of their involvement with the Uttolots, that'd be wise.
I would be willing to do that.
All right, well, the insight check.
I make a check. Yeah.
It's like a 13.
Okay. So she seems to be
12, 11, sorry. It wouldn't be
11.
12,
Okay.
11.
She seems to be pretty over what you get sort of the overall sort of feeling that she's being honest and that she will testify against the Uttolots, at least right now.
Won't sell us out if we leave. Oh, yeah.
All right.
I definitely appreciate you here, Agatha.
Yeah. No problem.
Your information has been very helpful.
Yes, thank you very much.
And kind of let her part ways, I guess, at this point.
All right. So you guys make your way back to Tumblecarve household, and as you and Agatha part ways, as we will end tonight's session.
About to go break into their house.
We'll get ready to
Girlfriend is